Onegaishimasu. Hope everybody's doing well. Today, this video is specifically for our junior black belt and black belt classes. Okay, our focus today is going to be Seiyunchin kata. Now, before we get started, have you done your junbyondo? If not, please pause the video, go through your junbyondo, then come back in. All right, great. So today we're going to take 4 sections of Seiyunchin kata. I want to work on the breakdown of the movement, plus how to put the breakdowns together to have a smooth transition. Remember, we're also working on muchimi, the heavy, sticky movement of Goju-ryu karate. So let's get started. Okay, go skate. Okay, so let's take the opening movement, okay? We don't have to go into stance just yet, but I want to talk more specific about what our upper body's doing here. Okay, so if we come into yoi position, right, so your left hand is on top, I have my right side, and let's just turn on an angle. So we're kind of mimicking the opening move of kata. What we're going to do from here is we're going to bring our hands up into yamoke, which is a mountain block, or sometimes a kuryuki. What we're going to do from here is just lift, okay? A lot of times I see the mistake being made where the elbows come out and everybody's really wide, okay? See this here? So there's no protection for my vital areas, so I come up into here, all right? So I'm keeping everything in nice and tight, all right? So from this position, we're going to circle here, and we're only coming up to about suigatsu. We don't have to come up really high, okay? And so from this position, we're going to grip, run our knuckles like gears, but we don't want to push our elbows away from our body. So as soon as we come to the forward, we pull straight out this way. Now, one thing we don't want to do is over-rotate our wrist, because what happens is it pulls my shoulders this way. So then I lose the stability and the strength in my technique. So just slight rotation where we can tighten our lats, okay? So back in here, tight, all right? So now, from here, let's just open our hands, and what we're gonna do from here is we need to rotate our elbows inward, okay? This is for our technique and to make our technique strong. So we wanna twist our palms like we're opening 2 peanut butter jars, so my elbows come into my body. My back hand scoops right up into the chamber. My front hand is going to block skuyuk, which is a scoop block, where I am going to actually cover my full body and block to here. And if I close, well, that's middle block, okay? So here, all right? So now, if I'm on my angle, that makes the blocking area narrower. So we don't have to go way out full block. I just have to cover the area where my body is. And like I said, if I turn forward, it's our middle block, right? So start to think of some of your higher level technique as the fundamentals that they came from. So from this position, both hands we scoop, okay? And now the next piece is to rotate that wrist and catch. So my thumb is in and I'm slightly bending those fingers, okay? This hand in the chamber, nukite, all right? So those fingers are together. So these can be separate and slightly bent, and these are together because this is a strike. So we are a catch and a strike. So from this position, they work together. I pull this way. Think as a punch is coming, I just blocked and trapped the elbow, caught the gi. Now I'm pulling into them, so I'm on the outside of their arm, and I'm striking 45 degrees into their ribs, this way. So this doesn't come straight out of the chamber, and it definitely doesn't wrap around your body. It comes out on a 45, and it's slightly angled down because we're coming under the rib cage. All right, so from here, peanut butter jars, skuyuk, catch, same time. All right, so shake them out. Now, that's just the breakdown. When we learn the pieces and then we put them together, we can work on that smooth transition, okay? So from here, let's go back to this position. Peanut butter jars, skuyuk. As soon as I finish my catch, I begin my pull. So, ich, ni, san. And we can work on that smooth transition. All right, perfect time. It's almost it's late spring coming into summer. If you can get into a pool or go to the beach and get up to your neck in water, you can mimic that feeling of muchimi by moving under the water. Okay, so this is a very heavy muchimi part of kata. Don't make a mistake of going too slow, because this isn't slow motion. This is muchimi, heavy, sticky. Okay, so that's our first movement and the first block we're working on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop back. We're going to come out into shikodachi. Now remember, stay down in your shikodachi. Our movements are not hangetsu, in and out, all right? Because this is brown belt level kata, so we move straight step. And when we do that, we don't want our level to come up and down. We want to maintain the same level through all 3 steps. Okay, so here we go. Let's get. Alright, onegaishimasu. Seiyunchin. Yo, and now remember, mirror image so you can follow with me. So we're coming out. Each, remember, I just pulled up, my elbows are in. Circle, catch, drop, to the side, tighten the lats. Open, scoop, each, knee. And now straight step, keep your body down. Each, knee, san, shi. And one more step, straight step here. Each, knee, san, shi. And shake them out. Great. All right. So what I want you to do is pause your video and work on repetitions of this movement. You can work the hand movements in place in front of a mirror. You can just keep working up and down. You don't have to go 3 steps out. You can go 9 steps out, turn around, 9 steps back, however many you want. The key to this is repetition, working over and over and over. And remember the timing, okay? So let's go through it one more time before we pause that video, okay? So from here, we're up. So it's circle, catch, drop. Tighten those lats. Open. As soon as we rotate those hands, we move into our upward movement. And as soon as we complete our block, we catch and pull into our next movement. Okay? So this is a really big timing, and it's the first 3 movements of this kata. All right, pause, have a go at it, and we'll be back. All right, how'd that go for you? Okay, remember repetition is the key. So we're gonna come into our second set now. Okay, so when we work in our kata, all right, I'm gonna stay up close again. So from here, and we're going mirror image. So you would have your right side forward and you would be finishing here, right? And notice I'm up close, I'm not down into Shiko because we're just focusing on our hands. So in this position, what we're gonna do is we grip and roll. That's 1, okay? And this doesn't have to be too slow, not here and super slow. Just catch and roll. And I don't have to catch then roll. Catch as I'm rolling my hands. Now, when I do this, there's a circle here. There's a circle here, right? So match, all right? Now, the movement when we do this is we're pulling from shikodachi, we're pulling back into heikodachi, and this is coming center body, and I roll on that axis, right? So that circle here, now I have this punch that's going to come straight out. This is called, what is it? Excellent, hojoshi. This is our augmented punch, where we're going to slide and hit heikodachi, but this punch, 2-knuckle seiken, is striking out, okay? Now notice, my fingers are behind my hand. We don't want our fingers forward, because if our fingers get there first, we're going to injure ourselves. This is the helping hand. Now, if you look at your palm, there's a triangle right here, okay? This position, this is where we're pushing to help, okay? So let's drop down, let me back up. We're in shikodachi. So we're in here, so it's catch in 1. The next timing is 1, 2. So it's kind of like we're winding up, we're in that heikodachi, and then 2 is where we blast off and push, all right? So let's work that timing. So from here, each knee. All right, so those each knee are together, it's kind of like winding up and exploding. Like one of those little cars where you pull them back and release and they take off. We're winding our body up and then exploding forward. All right, let's try that again. So from this position, each knee, 1, 2. Okay, so my stances were from shikodachi, I draw back to heikodachi, and then push to heikodachi, okay? So it's important to work on those stances. Now, we do have a second part of this. So from here, working on those hands, where I catch 1, 2, I have got to pull. So this is tate-ken, vertical fist, and this is ushiro hijate or hikite, this is our chamber. So from here, driving, and this hand is pushing. Almost like that triangle was one half of our Velcro hook and latch. We're connected here and we have to rip it off. This is another example of muchimi. So from here, and see my fist? Vertical, up and down. Here, and from this position, I turn and cup. This is like I'm catching someone's head and I pull this way into that elbow. Notice? Vertical again, all right? So let's put that together. From here, 1, 1, 2. Now, when we pull, front foot steps back, here, here. This is Hanzen Kosudachi. This is that half front stance, here, right? All right, let's repeat that again. So from here, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. All right, shake them out. All right, so that was the second sequence of our Seiyunchin kata. So what I want you to do is pause, work on that. Make sure your hands are in proper position, okay? And work a lot of repetitions and then come on back. All right, great. I hope that went well for you. So we're coming up to the third of 4 sequences that we're going to work today. So this one is for right and left side, okay? And we're going to take this slow. And this, for some of you, is the first time you're being introduced to a Rei-no-ji dachi. Rei-no-ji dachi is our checkmark stance, okay? So when we do this, okay, we finished Hanzen Kotsudachi here. Our front foot doesn't move, okay? Let's just put our hands on our hips. What we do is we bring our back foot right into it and then out. So this foot didn't move. So now if I draw a line, here's my check mark, okay? So here, right? So we come in and out. And my body's upright, here. So back to this position. So let me get close. You know what my feet are doing. So what we're gonna do is, as I draw my feet together, I bring my hand over to my chamber, okay? And what's going to happen is, I'm going to step into a Rei-no-ji dachi, working our augmented block. What's the name of that? Good, excellent. Hojo osh. So this hand is pushing. Now, if I drop this hand and turn this way, well, look what we're doing. Yeah, that's a middle block. So here, so I'm in Rei-no-ji dachi and I'm pushing, but I'm not looking over my block. I'm looking through the center of my body. Okay, so if I'm here, this is the way I'm looking. A lot of students have a tendency to want to look over the block because of the angle. We don't have to. My eyes are centered with my body here. All right? So let's work that feet from the back. All right. So from here, as my feet come together, hand comes over and push this way. Excellent. Now, our next movement from here are 2 Gedan Ryuki. This, and it will be on the test, this is the strongest part of the kata, these 2 blocks. So let's not take shortcuts and block, let's have a good full Gedan Ryuki, okay? So when we're in this position, Rei-no-ji dachi, Hojo oshi, it's the open hand that comes up and covers the face as we drop into Shikodachi, Naname, 45 degrees, here. And then I come straight back, make sure I'm covering that face, here. Now, I'm in good shikodachi. This foot doesn't move, but this hand and this foot come over and I catch up and follow here. And then we push Renojidachi to Hojoshi. This hand is blocking strong. And back. Alright, shake them out for a moment. Now, I did those slow because when I came back, I brought this hand up just so you could see I'm covering and blocking. But if I'm coming out of this position, it is a full strong block. And it's the most powerful part of this kata. And when I say it's on the test, I'm talking about the Shodan test. So these are things that you should write down, put in your notebook. Right, so let's work that whole sequence. All right, so from this position, each knee, each knee. Excellent, shake them out. All right, so if you need to go back, pull the video back and rewatch, go for it. If you are getting this and understanding it, hit pause, work your repetition. All right, so we're coming up on the final part for today's lesson, okay? We're gonna work on Haryuke. Okay, Haryuke is archer's block. Now, Haryuke looks like this. However, look familiar? Look familiar? Okay, all it is a fundamental technique. We have a high block and we have Gena Haryuke. However, they're open hands, okay? And there's some details that I want you to really work on, okay? So when you're working, okay, and you step back, the first hand up is going to be your left hand. So left hand will be your high hand. So let's take, let's see, from here, let's take your left hand and let's pull it straight up and roll that elbow out and tighten our lat here. So notice I'm in close to my body here, but I'm able to tighten my lat. If you're way up here, you can't use that muscle, so we want to keep in here. Now, if I get close, one finger, place it on my eyebrow here, that's how close my hand is, and then when I look, I'm still one finger off there, but that's nice and tight here. All right, so this hand comes straight up, then rolls. Tighten that lat, okay? Now the second hand is already up. All it does is drop and block low, but we don't want to turn our fingers into our body. A lot of people like to do that. Oh, I got my hand this way. But see where my shoulder is? It's out, it's not supported by any muscle. So I just turn it enough where I can tighten that lat and keep that shoulder down. So when they come up together tight, here, everything's nice and tight, okay? So I would prefer that you feel those muscles locking down and that you are mechanically strong rather than trying to make it look pretty, okay? Because pretty isn't effective, okay? And when you work on your technical, trust me, it will look beautiful because you're doing it correctly, okay? So from here, let's work on a little hand drill, okay? So let's get these hands up tight. Now, the next movement, your hand comes to the outside, all right? So I want your right hand to come up to the outside. This hand drops and this hand rolls here. Now I'm looking forward at the video, but you can turn your head this way for proper. Now we come inside and roll. Tight. You should be able to tighten those lats. Outside and roll. And inside and roll. Tight. And outside and roll. And inside and roll. One more. Outside and roll. Tight. And relax. Shake them out. All right. So those, when they're being done, okay, keep in mind is we're coming off a 45-degree angle and then we're stepping back into a 90-degree shikodachi. So 45 shikodachi to a 90-degree shikodachi. Okay, so let's get this, let's go with the feet now. All right, so my movement, I would have been 1, 2, strong. So now from here, this hand comes inside, and as I roll tight, now this hand comes up to the outside as I come back in here, and tight, okay? And you want everything in line, okay? So one of the things, and if you've been in the dojo with me, you know the diagram I put on the board is stick person, okay? It's a stick person who looks like the feet are wide and the arms are wide like this, right? So we started our first 3 moves down this way, and then when we get to our 2 strong low blocks, we go this way, we go this way, all right? And then after Haryuki, and we do some more movement in here, we do that 3/4 turn, and then we work up an arm and up the other arm, right? So it kind of looks like a stick person, but that's the pattern we're working on the floor. It's really important to understand your angles and your lines when you're doing kata. All right, so pause the video, work on that piece. All right, so let's finish, all right? One time, nice and slow, we don't have to rush. We will go start to finish. I will mirror this for you so you can follow along. That will conclude our 4 sections for today, and we'll take another day and build up. Remember, it's key to work on small amounts and make them tremendous. You can take them and implement them back in your kata and then take other pieces out, okay? So it's important that we don't work start to finish all the time. That's good for learning patterns, but when we want to develop strength, we really want to break down our kata. All right, here we go. Seiyunchin. Onegaishimasu. Yo. Stepping out first. Movement. Each. Circle. Catch and drop. Peanut butter jars. Scoop. Catch and pull. Straight step. Knee. San. Shi. Go. And straight step. Each. Knee. San. Shi. Working slow. Here's the timing. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. Inside. Tight. Outside. Tight. And relax and shake them out. Nice job. All right. So you have some work to do. Work on these 4 sequences. The next time I come back in, we'll catch the next 4. All right. So remember, if you are a junior black belt, this is really important that you practice, because before you know it, you'll be ready for Shodan, which is an adult rank. Work on our lessons daily. Take all the written work and build your notebooks, please. All right, until the next time. Okay? Arigatou gozaimashita.